they burn Atlanta down.
So here's the question. Here's the question then. What kind of reform would you support? Is there any type of reform that you would support? Because we don't, as an officer, you don't want other officers making you look bad. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and your department is running right, what kind of reform would keep things from happening that would affect the industry as a whole? Or is there any?
But no, let Ryan go ahead.
Yeah, no, I got two things. First of all, I agree with what they were just, what Dave was saying, what Rob was saying, what Bo was saying. But I think those days are somewhat numbered. I mean, you know, the public is going to expect more from us, right? So, you know, if you see somebody do something and you don't act, whether how you feel, regardless, the department's going to hang you out to dry. And are you going to be able to uphold that in court? That's going to be the question. So I think we're going to see things change in that sense. Also, you know, we talk about reforms and, you know, everybody, all these news stations and stuff, the politicians are talking about policies and training. And one thing I want to say, you know, they keep on talking about the carotid artery restraint. We're going to ban that. You know, when I hear that, it's kind of like, well, we're going to ban the use of lead paint. You know, nobody uses lead paint anymore. And I don't know any departments, at least the ones I've worked for, don't authorize a carotid. I know the state of Tennessee, it's illegal on a state level. So, you know, but what I see and what a lot of people don't think about is when we talk about bias, is the bias in the hiring process. You know, for, you know, young Black men or women who want to join the police department, you know, what biases, you know, when you go through the hiring phase, you know, biases are sort of stacked against them, you know, from the background investigator's perspective, or who's, you know, what the makeup of the department may be, if it's in the South, or wherever it may be. And I think there needs to be more inroads to get more people of color in the profession, on the same, you know, on the same ground as anybody else. And I don't think that exists. I think particularly smaller departments, big departments do a pretty good job of hiring a diverse crowd, but they still kind of pick and choose people regardless of their qualifications on whether, you know, they like them or they don't like them for whatever reason. But that's just my, you know, my opinion.
Go ahead, Dave.
Come on.
We see you stewing over there.
Man, give me the question one more time so I can make sure.
Reform. Is there any type of reform that you would support in policing?
All right, so I'm gonna be real with you. You know what we need to stop doing? I'm gonna tell you what we need to stop doing in law enforcement. Our hiring practices are trash. And I'm gonna tell you why. And I've been a victim of it where I have not gotten a gig based on certain aspects, okay?
Sure.
We in a field where they don't look at you to see what you can do for the department or what you can bring. They look for every reason not to hire you. Every reason not to hire you. So somebody who is seasoned in life like myself, okay? I didn't caught a case back in 2009 and had it dropped down and had it sealed away. And then I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I got 33 violations on my license. I lived in the hood. I kicked it. I had fun. I played loud music. I was young and did stuff. You get what I'm saying? I'm being honest with you. Like, I'm dead ass. Like, I'm one of the officers that legitimately slipped through the cracks. Like, I shouldn't be here for real, but I'm glad I am. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, for me, coming from the streets, seeing the things I done seen, from living in Jamaica to being an American, like, the hiring practices got to change. It ain't about money, though. Because you can defund the police. Okay, cool. Defund the police. Watch crime skyrocket. And then, because remember, every call we go to ain't always like a mental patient or, you know, a kid with you know, with some type of like ailment. You get what I'm saying? It's not always a call like that. Majority of police, in at least for me, I am a professional motivator. I'm a professional. I come in people's houses, sit on their couch, and have a full-blown conversation. You get what I'm saying? As long as they ain't got no bed bugs and no roaches. You get what I'm saying? So for me personally, like I'm there to just like ease everything. When I come on scene, the first thing I'm saying is, listen, I'm a tool in your toolbox. Use me as you need. I'm not here to take nobody to jail. I'm not here to give y'all no tickets. I'm here to help y'all in the situation the best way I can. Whatever you need me to do, I'll see if I can do it. Some things you can't teach, like I said. So when you're talking about programs, tell me a program you can put 10 to 15 officers in that's going to actually be actively attentive and really want to learn something. You get what I'm saying? We done all been there. We done been in classes like that. What the fuck? Look, you got that one dude up there.
You know, I worked for ATF, FBI. You know, I was out in CIA. I went over to the Gulf of Mexico.
Like, all right, bro, we get it. You got all these accolades. But what have you really done? You get what I'm saying? What kind of real life have you really been in? Okay, you can pull a trigger. Okay, you can take part of a Glock. You can take a Glock apart in 15 seconds. Okay, cool. I'm happy, bro. You the man. You the man, all right? But tell me where you could put 15 to 20 officers in the classroom to have them keep their attention, because most officers got ADD, man. They not going, you got to put something in front of them that they really want to listen and watch, man. Most of the time, they're like, yeah, man, what are you doing? What are you going to eat when you leave out of here? Like, nobody, hey, this is the truth, though. Like, I work with these motherfuckers, man. I ain't lying. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, it ain't really, the culture has to change, but what's going to happen is I totally agree with Ryan on one thing. At some point in time, it will change, and I'm going to tell you how. Those bad apples and those old heads, guess what they got to do at some point? They got to retire. Once they leave them seats, the only thing you can pray for is that somebody, if not yourself, can please probably, hopefully get into that seat, but keep the same mentality. Too many people, oh, when I get to this, I'm going to do this. When I get to this position, I'm going to do that. Then they get there and they like, fuck them. I'm cool and comfy. I'm not about to shake the leaves on the tree. Damn, what happened to all that shit you was talking? So it's like, it's really a roll of the dice, man. But the thing is, if we really want to have any type of community police and community relations, first and foremost, some apologies got to be given. And I'm talking about even for things that we have not done, things that we wasn't even alive for. Too many people are carrying a burden and carrying resentment, and it's passed down through generations, man. You got kids hating the police that never even seen the police, never even met the police. Like,
Never met him.
Never met him, bro. Like, man, fuck the police, fuck 12. You be like, okay, where 12 came from? Where 12 came from? Tell me where 12 came from. You just saying something because rap music said it.
You just saying it.
You feel me? Like,
No idea what it means.
Man, nothing. You just run around talking crazy. And if you want to be honest, and I'm going to throw this out there because I made a post and people got mad at me. How the fuck y'all want change but don't want to be the change, but y'all want to jump on the bandwagon when they pull up?
Hey,
No,
look, that part. Right
That part, David, tell him.
You need to preach.
Man, you know how many,
Legit.
I'll be like, okay, fuck the police. Now what?
Not what?
Like, are you gonna join and change this shit? Because like I said earlier, some things gotta be fought from the inside out. It's chess, not checkers, bro. You can riot, you can protest, and this is the thing. Check this shit, bro. Check this, bro. We did protesting. We marched on Washington. Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, so many different activists have done so much. But guess what happened? This is what people need to realize. Whatever results we were going to get from protesting, we've already gotten. So now we need to attack the problem a different way.
Next step.
We need to come from different multiple angles, meaning from the outside in and from the inside out. But the only way you're going to do it is if we work together. We can't even fucking go to the grocery store without arguing about who cut somebody. Or, damn, you took my tomato I was staring at. Like, it's a lot of things that we have to work on inside first before we want people to work on other shit outside of us.
Hey, that's real.
Hey, Dave, so to piggyback on what you were saying about the inside, it's hard, well, in Georgia, it's hard for...
It's hard, hey, bro, listen to me. Stop saying just in Georgia, bruh. It's hard everywhere.
No.
No, I get what you about to say, but I'm saying like it's hard everywhere, bro.
David, no, I'm going a different route with it. I'm talking about as far as getting the right people in agencies.
That's what I'm saying.
No, actually, look, in Georgia, listen to this. In Georgia, it's about 60-75% of the departments in Georgia. I have like 10 under officers. It starts from the top. Sheriff and chief are putting their people in place in their departments. They're not going to hire us to come work for
I
them
know that.
in South Georgia. You know what I'm saying?
And
That's
see,
not going to happen.
and that's what we need. That the whole march and the movement should be about that, because that shouldn't be happening in Georgia, you know. But we have to be we have to rally together and affect change in that area, because that's happening in other departments
It
too.
ain't part of the.
Man, don't nobody want to join. Don't nobody want to join. And then it's the thing. Don't get me wrong. Somebody said this to me the other day. They was like, well, how you expect people to join and they smoke weed and they do this? And ain't got nothing to do with me. I guess that motherfucker can't join then. What about the other 10 people that he kick it with that don't? You get what I'm saying?
Look,
like,
listen, I'm on your exact same page, right? But you look at somewhere like Gia's department or my department. And this is where I have a problem, and I made a post about this, and I talked about this, and, you know, a lot of people are all up in arms and whatnot. Our departments are each 49% Hispanic. So when I come up at someone, I'm like, well, you guys want to bring up the past all the time. So that's what we do. We bring up the past. We're not trying to live in the future. We bring up the past. So we want to bring up Tulsa. We want to bring up Rosewood. I'll break that down in a heartbeat. Look at Tulsa and Rosewood. Okay, Black Wall Street, it was burned down. There was some horrible things went on, but you know what? The Black family was totally different back then. They stressed education. They were good families. Now, it ain't no Black family no more. It's nothing but side chicks having babies in the hood who are teaching their kids to hate the police, letting the streets raise their kids. But you want to know something? The Hispanics thrive in their neighborhoods. They build in their neighborhoods. They shop in their neighborhoods. They teach their kids the right way to do it, and now our departments are half Hispanic. But why can't we get no Black people on the job? Because Ray, okay, Shanae let Ray raise her son.
I'm done with you, Rob.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm done.
All this bad shit.
it's true though. It's true shit.
Right, why can't we get Black people on the job? Because
Good. Shanae, let Ray.
they ain't about living the right life. They live in, you know, they doing everything under the blue moon. What could be done wrong? Not all Black people, obviously, but a huge majority. And then they wonder why can't we get on the job? Because you're a fuck up. Your credit is bad. You've been arrested 13 times. You know what I'm saying? And if that's you, that's cool. But you know what? You see what the problem is. You see how we can fix the problem. But you are also the problem, because you're not even teaching your children that that's not the route to go. So
Right, you're not even teaching your kids that this is a good profession. You know, that's what I'm saying. They're not teaching their kids it's a good profession. And another thing that we don't do, we don't stick together. Like he said, the Hispanics, our department is 49% Hispanic. They get on, they hire on, they bring on their cousins, their brothers, their brother-in-law, their sister-in-law, and they help each other. We get on, okay, and it's like, oh no, I ain't giving her nothing. I ain't showing her nothing. I ain't showing him nothing, because I'm so afraid if I show them something, they gonna rise above me, and I'm gonna be left behind. We need to get out of that mentality and start helping each other, so we can get these jobs and stay on these jobs and move up, so the faces up top do look different. You know, and so that question about systematic racism in the departments, in all the departments is there, it's there big time. And I'm sure a lot of us have been subjected to that, you know, as far as promoting, working different places and stuff. So yeah, it exists.
It's hidden in the hiring process. It's hidden in IA complaints. It's hidden in just the most simplistic thing. If you run a two-man car, who you rather ride with? It's gonna be people who have back conversations about people in the department. Like, oh no, I ain't riding with him. He, you know, I don't really fuck with, you know, I don't really deal with. And you be wondering like, damn, why he don't like me? You know what I'm saying? I never did nothing to him, and it don't take much, man. Like, that's why I said we ain't all friends in this shit. But you know, once again, I get the Black Lives Matter movement to an extent, but I also can't 1000% sell into it. Like all this, don't get me wrong, bro. And the media uses this so beautifully. Unarmed Black man was killed today, and I get it, bruh. I get it.
How many though, David? How many? Huh? How many unarmed Black men were killed in 2019? Do you know the number?
Listen, the crazy part is so staggering low,
bro.
That if you mention it,
I preface it always by saying one is too many. This is nationwide. There's 800,000 police officers in countless departments. The number is 9, bruh. 9 unarmed black men in 2019.
It's funny because folks don't care about numbers.
They don't care about numbers, bro. Numbers don't matter, bro. The truth. Listen. No bullshit. No bullshit. Hey, Rob. No bullshit. The truth don't matter.
Nope.
Listen to me, bro. Listen, Bo. Check this, Bo. I can be like, yo, this is my son right here. This is my son. This is my son. This is my blood son. Like, I love him. This is my son. You know what I mean? People will believe me versus some people be like, man, that nigga's still lying, man. I don't want to hear that shit. I can show them DNA. They still gonna not believe me, man.
Hey, Bo. Hey, real talk. Like, folks can see exactly what happened. It's the fact that they don't want to believe.
There it is.
What just happened.
Because there's no more accountability in this society. The fact that they were killed is all that matters. There's no accountability if they were reaching for a gun. There's no accountability on their actions. None. This is a finger pointing society now. It's all our fault. There's no accountability on their part.
Now,
just like the kid who just got killed in Atlanta for fighting them 2 cops on a fucking misdemeanor DUI, and then bones out and turns around and shoots the taser at the officer. Now, had he kept just running, that dude would be alive to this day. I do believe that. And had he been shot in the back without doing that, old boy would have been in deep trouble. But it was 1.3 seconds from the firing of that taser to that officer shot. There's no accountability anymore. No one cares.
And let me ask you guys this, if you don't mind going around sharing really quick, and I want to start with Kendra. What is the most, I would say, traumatic or dramatic thing that has happened to you as an officer, and how did that affect you and your family, if you'd like to speak on that?
The most dramatic thing?
Or traumatic, either one.
The most in my career, I was in a shooting 6 years ago. And it started out as a fight. I was literally ran over with a truck by the suspect. And it ended up deadly. And that was the most traumatic. The physical part, I healed from. The mental part, I still suffer with sometimes. You know, PTSD is a real thing. It's a real thing. So that was the most traumatic that
and I remember that. Talk about how that affects your family, because I think sometimes too we don't get to discuss not just you, but your family and how that residually carries out through your life.
Like I said, I still struggle with it. I get triggers here and there. I had one about 5 months ago, 6 months ago, where I was triggered, went into a full anxiety panic attack. At the time, I was recently divorced. I was raising, I think at the time my daughter was 4. So single mother, had a daughter. Her father is also an officer. He was in a motorcycle accident a few years after that. So my daughter went from seeing me all banged up to seeing him in a hospital bed. It was tough. Like I said, no one told me what to expect following a critical incident like that. No one told me about PTSD. No one told me about the adrenaline dump. No one told me about the insomnia. No one told me about the constant thoughts that were going to go through my head. No one told me that I was going to basically lose it just, you know, one day. My daughter dropped. I remember it was a few days after the incident. My family had left. I didn't even tell them actually, and when it first happened. My chief kept saying, "You want me to call someone?" I was like, "Nope, nope, nope." I actually called my best friend the next day when I was still in the hospital. Called my best friend. She works for Oakland PD. And she came down and took care of me for a few days until I finally was like, okay, I'm good. I'm out the hospital. I can tell my family now. And so after my family had left, my daughter and I, we went to go get some froyo, and she dropped it in the car, and I lost my shit. I screamed at her, you know, into a 4-year-old when mommy's screaming, you know, that's scary. You know, I'm punching the dash, like all this. And even I still struggle with that. And, you know, because I shouldn't have reacted the way I did. But again, it was following an incident. Again, no one tells you these things. So it was tough. It was tough as far as, especially because I had several surgeries and having to ask for help, needing someone to help take care of my daughter. She still doesn't, I never have told her the full story of what happened. All she knows is that a bad man tried to hurt mommy. So like I said, I mean, I still struggle, but you know, I try to hide it well.
And even with all of that, you still loved your job, your profession.
I did. I went back. Yeah.
Explain
after every surgery, I still went back to work. I will say that I did struggle mentally as far as if it was going to happen again. And so after surgery, and I had to go see our department psychologist every time I went back to work. Because again, I was struggling with it's going to happen. What if it happens again? What if this time I don't survive? What if my daughter is now stuck with her dad? Like all those things, you know, went through my mind.
Do you feel like they had an appropriate amount of support, mentally, physically for you?
Yes. That was actually, during that time was probably when I felt most supported by my department. Previous to that, again, there was only 4 Black people in my department. 2 females at the time. Actually, yeah, 2 females at that time. It ended up that I ended up being the only female because she had left to a different department. I didn't feel like I was welcome. And it wasn't until that incident to where I felt like I finally have, I hate to say it, proved myself, that I can handle a situation like that. But I had, you know, officers, they brought me groceries, they checked up on me. Our department has a peer counseling. So, you know, in that sense, I did feel supported.
Well, thank you for sharing. We appreciate you. Ryan, what about you?
Well, you know, I think it's an interesting question. You know, as far as on the job, you know, the external stuff we deal with, I think everybody has their own triggers, right? So for me, having 2 young children and then dealing with abused kids and stuff, that was always something that, you know, I was sensitive about. But as far as on the job, you know, having worked with people that you call your brothers, you know, like your line brother, your frat brother, same difference. And, you know, they lose their life in the line of duty where they're shot and killed or, you know, feloniously assaulted. That's never an easy thing, you know, and I've had to deal with that. I think all of us have probably been to more funerals than we'd like to have. And, you know, it's one thing when, you know, an officer is killed in the line of duty in your department, you didn't know him, but if it's someone that you worked with, that you were close with, or that you knew, you know, it's a bit different, you know, and then I can't really explain, you know, but I guess it's like, you know, losing a you know, close frat brother or line brother, you know. And so I think for me, that kind of, you know, encapsulates it for me.
Gia?
Well, for me, I think, well, it was 2 incidents that really affected me. One was, it didn't happen to me, but somebody, a deputy that I know, we went at off training party. A transfer party. We were all out, and drinking and everything, and he wound up leaving and driving and wound up killing himself. He died. So that shook me really, because it was like we were just together, and it's like, wow, what, I felt I should have done something, not let him get in the car and drive. I didn't know he was that, inebriated to that extent. So to get that call, in the morning that he's dead, it's like, wow. And then the second thing that really affected me was really a promotional process for me. Promoting in our department, it's no joke, and promoting to lieutenant, it took a really toll on me, being because I got passed over. You do everything right, you get in the right band, and it doesn't happen for you, and it was that really affected me and affected my family, because it took a toll on me. The studying, the process, the whole process did. So that's it for me.
Bo?
Let me see. I was able a couple reasons. The one that's more profound was my first shooting. I was only one shooting, and I think that was like 2014. It was a undercover situation. It turned into an ambush type. I really don't talk about it a lot, but it was an ambush. It was an undercover situation. It was going to a location, and the guy we was looking for, he got a hands out that was coming. So he was just hiding in the dark, and as soon as me and my partner came around the corner, he shot my partner right in front of me. So lucky my partner, he lived and everything like that, but it's deep, you know what I'm saying? Like, just to be in a situation where I was ready for whatever, but I wasn't ready for that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? For ambush. Like, our mindset that we already going in, being ambushed, wasn't the first thing that was coming to mind for that situation. I think it hurt me more that my friend and my brother got hurt. So I think it was more that my brother got shot, and there was nothing I could do. Yeah, it's hard to explain, but I would say that though.
Rob?
I mean, I was in the shooting in 2002, and so I just, I'll bring that up, but it's probably, I would say, third in line for any kind of trigger for me, because in the end, the one thing that, for anyone that views this, and I'm sure everyone on here could agree, none of us put on our uniform and go to work ever with the want or intent to have to shoot somebody. But it happens. And, for me, with the individual that I was dealing with and ended up having to shoot, he was an armed and dangerous 211 Grand Theft Auto suspect that had carjacked a lady at gunpoint, used her car, and was going around robbing people. So when it came down to him reaching for his gun after he tried to run my two partners over, and it became a me or him situation, there was no second thought. And that becomes a trigger for me anytime I have to pull my weapon out now, because I didn't hesitate to shoot that man, and I wouldn't hesitate to do it again. But it's always that thing for me where it's like, man, I don't want to have to shoot this person. But I think probably my number one trigger is being a traffic officer at this point, doing any kind of death notification, especially if it involves a child. Having kids of my own, like my youngest boy, he likes to go out with his friends and ride his bikes, and it's like, you got to let the kids live, but it freaks me out because I see so many kids get killed from random things, whether it be from a car, in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I try and just, live life, but it's a very scary thing for me to let him leave the house and go out and be in these streets, even riding his bike, because you have so many careless individuals, many individuals who are even unlicensed to this day in Los Angeles, is what we do. But that's my number one trigger. And then my second trigger would be very much like Ryan said, or Bo said, losing people on this job that I work with, have worked with, or know personally. That's tough. Like I have not gone inside of a funeral yet. I can't do it. I am always in the procession because I'm a motor and I lead the motorcade, but I can't go inside. I don't know if I could show up to work the next day the same person if I had to go inside and watch my brother or sister be put to rest. Can't do it.
Dave?
I got so many experiences, man. I'm not even just saying that. Like so many, man, so many. Really wasn't traumatic, but it was something that I dealt with mentally and lightweight, like an emotional aspect. So I was a rookie. I finished my little training, but I was still kind of like, still in rookie status, but I was on the warrant unit at the time. And boom, we get a call for a male down. He was at a place that it looks like a hospital, but it's really a dialysis center. And that's his girl drove him there. So when we pull up, they say all the EMS is out. Like they had so much going on. So the fire truck came with us. So I pulled up, me and my senior officer. And when I pull up, dude in the car, he lit up. But he's still talking. He kind of choking on his blood, but he talking to me, and I like trying to hold pressure on him. So the firefighter dude, he come in the car, he said, Dunk, you want to just, he like, man, we ain't got no cars. Can we just throw him in the back of yours? My senior officer was like, hey, do it. Let's go. I'm like, come on. So we pick him up the car, we throw him in the back seat. Mind you, where I work, it's like no resources, man. It's tough in East Cleveland, man. It is hard, man. So I'm going down the street called Euclid. I'm doing like 100 lights and sirens. I'm going. I get there, right? I carry dude out. I literally carry him out. He bleeding all over me. I put him on the operating table. The doctors rush in. They start trying to like put the tube, breathing tube. The nurse actually missed and went to his stomach. She had to take it back out and go back to his lungs. Long story short, I stood there and I watched him die. So this was my first on the job watching somebody die. And I kind of felt bad because I'm like, I did want to save him and I felt like I want to, but as I was driving, I could just feel him fading. He was really fading, you know what I'm saying? I get back to the station because we had to do a report on it because he really wasn't shot in our city. He was shot in Cleveland and came to our city. So I ran a CCH. For those that don't know, y'all probably already know, but computerized criminal history. And it printed out 42 pages. And when I saw it, I was like, damn. At this moment in my life, in my career, when I read all the charges he'd been charged throughout his life, man, dude was, and this is me going by a piece of paper. I'm not judging him, but if I was to go by this piece of paper, this dude was horrible, bro. Horrible. And I sat there, and as I'm typing the report, I'm like, damn, I tried to save his life. He lived a horrible life. From what I can tell, he got shot, which, everybody ain't getting shot at every day. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be living a certain type of way to be getting shot at all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he got shot, he got killed. But my dilemma as I was sitting there was like, damn, bro. Like, should I feel bad? Should I have remorse? I feel like every life matters. You know what I'm saying? Every life is special. But I'm like, damn, was this his like his karma? As a young dude, you looking like you believe in karma, you believe in the things that that what you put out to the world comes back to you tenfold. But I was like, damn. And that's when I had to learn on the job, like, you know, you really can't take the shit you deal with home. You cannot. You got to find outlets by all means, man. If you carry the burden of trying to save the entire world, and because the problem is when you don't do it, when things slip between your fingers or slip out of your grasp, you're going to end up blaming yourself all the time. So for me, it was just a turning point in my mental process. My job didn't change. Like I didn't start doing things differently, but I just started to look at things differently. And I felt like at that moment, I almost lost for a split second, me being human kicked in, and I almost lost my compassion. I almost lost it. I think that was the biggest fear for me. That's the most detrimental thing, is that at one point in time, I almost became so numb, so uncompassionate, that had I lost it, then this would have been just a job. I'd have came, collected a check, wrote some tickets, and kept it pushing like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a dude in the academy, and I'll never forget his words when he taught us. And it pissed me off so bad, man. And he said, I was a traffic cop for 31 years. You know what I'm saying? Yada, yada, yada. I had a great career. Woo, 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 woo. You know, I had a motto. My motto was write them all tickets and let God sort it out. You know, I didn't give nobody no fucking breaks. You know, everybody got tickets. If God didn't want you to get a ticket, then he'll deal with it on his own. And I used to be like, damn, that's the mentality you got, bro? Like you can't make anything a good experience for somebody, or just, I done pulled hella people over just to tell them, yo, tail light out or headlight out. Yo, bro, I just wanted to tell you that I ain't trying to ruin your day and nothing, man. You know, I just want to make this a good experience for you. But to answer your question, truthfully, that was probably that was the biggest turning point for me in my
Wow. I feel like we could do this for a long time. It's been too long for some of us, so it's good to see you guys. Before we go, I want you to share kind of what else you do. You were talking about outlets, David.
Mm-hmm.
And some of y'all's social media is so fun. I prefer to watch it over TV these days. So just let the people know a little bit about what else you do. We didn't get to get into community engagement. So I'd love to hear if there's something that you enjoy doing on the job with the community that you serve. And what do you do when you're not in uniform? What's the rest of your life like? What do you have coming up next? And how can people keep in touch with you or follow you if they so choose? Because y'all are quite entertaining. Go ahead, Bo. Get this party started.
What? Who, me?
Yes,
I
you.
gotta go first.
Yes, RoboCop, you. And if you want to tell the people about your last video, you can do that too.
What last video?
And the woman that's DMing you. Go ahead. Give them all the good stuff, Bo.
All right, so
I'm telling all the business before we go. Go on, Bo.
I'm just trying to be like David. David's been my role model. But I don't know, I do a lot outside the cop life. Like I'm real big in that fitness. I'm real big in the family life. I got my son real big in the fitness. I do a lot of event planning as far as for Sigmas and Zetas, as y'all know. You know what I'm saying? It's like David said earlier, this cop life ain't my life 100%, 24/7. This cop life is while I'm at work and partially outside of work. But the cop image is not what just makes me. So I'm like everybody else. Like I just like to chill, have fun, be with the bros. Like right now, I ain't been with the bros in about 4 or 5 months since COVID. But I think everybody get the misconception as far as outside looking in that we just bleed blue. Like we back blue no matter what. Mm-hmm. But it ain't always like that. Like for me personally, I back everything that's right. if you're wrong, you're wrong. You're right, is right. But I don't know, just if people just get a different mentality when it comes to law enforcement. That we're like robots. You know what I'm saying? Like strictly here to enforce the laws. We don't got no families. We got no compassion. You know what I'm saying? But I think the ones that ruin it for us are the ones that don't show compassion. Like David's saying, this job it needs compassion. It needs officers like David and everybody else to show that we are compassionate. We are human, and we do have understanding of certain things that go on during everybody's lives. But yeah, what story you said you want me to talk about?
Whatever you want to talk about, Bo. How you arrest people with one hand, all that good stuff.
Don't be jealous, David. David, don't be jealous, bro.
Hey, Rob, you hear this shit?
Hey,
How the old
David.
how the old married women like hot chocolate, Bo Braxton.
It's cool. It's cool. I'll hand them handcuffs. I don't even have to put them on. I'm like, I tell them, you put them on.
But look, let me say this. So
When's the next party? Where we can get the flyers from? Come on, Bo.
next party. No.
Not for a while. We not getting that. But when they let us loose, we coming out to Atlanta.
Hey, as soon as they cut us loose for this COVID thing, that's basically what I do. I do parties. Like I love to see all of us get together as far as cops, Sigmas, and I love to see all of us get together, make memories. That's basically what I've been about even since college. So now I'm at a different platform where I can, especially with Facebook and social media, I'm able to get the attention of people from everywhere now. So I've been enjoying that aspect of it because when I was in college, they didn't have Facebook like this.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have Instagram. And honestly, I'm glad they didn't have Facebook, Instagram when I was in college.
You had your Black Planet account, Bo.
I didn't have Black Planet.
Black Planet, man.
Rob,
I think
what's up
David
with you?
still got a Black Planet.
What'd you say?
What's up with you? What are you doing when you're not in uniform?
I mean, ever since college, I've been a football guy. So, my department had still has a semi-pro team. So, I really gravitated towards that. But, like I said earlier, I always felt like the NFL made a mistake not taking me. But that being the case, I decided to live through my children, and I get a much bigger joy out of watching my two sons play football and my daughter play soccer. Like I wasn't sure where life was exactly taking me when I got out of school, but like I love being a dad. It is fun. Like I get such enjoyment out of watching my kids excel in everything they do, from grades to sports. So, my oldest boy is on a D1 scholarship for University of Nevada, Reno Wolfpack. My daughter plays for the LA Galaxy girls academy, fully funded girls academy, and my youngest boy is he's a football kid and he's better than my oldest, only because he works harder because he wants to outdo his brother, which is fun for me to see. So, encompassing all of that, very much like Bo, like fitness is what I do. Like I get them right, I keep myself right. I encompass all of that with Herbalife and, running my business with Herbalife, which, I've taken a back seat to that a little bit, concentrating more on the dad stuff. But, I still love the company. I still work with the company. I still work with people when they want to get in shape. I'm a NASM certified personal trainer, but I don't concentrate on people away from my kids right now because they're really at a pivotal point in their life where, if any of us can attest to a free education where I don't have to pay for it, that allows me to do a whole lot of living a whole lot sooner, especially with retirement on the horizon. Like, I want to just be able to bone out whenever I want and fly up and watch my kids play. And, you know, maybe they'll hang out with me and we can get some lunch or dinner. They might be too hip or whatever to hang out with the old man at that point. But, you know, that's all I'm about at this point. It's all about family and fitness and my kids. So that's my whole life.
Ms. Kendra? You're on mute.
Sorry.
There you go.
What am I not doing? Let's see. Like everyone else, you know, my daughter takes up a whole lot of my time. Lots of Disney. I went back to school, getting my doctorate in psychology. My plan is to be a police psychologist. I figured, you know, hey, no one.
They need you. They need you.
I figured I know, you know, I know what police are going through, so maybe I can help somebody. Yeah, and that yeah. My dissertation is taking a lot. I think I mentioned earlier I work as a DI at a police academy. I also am a professor at College of the Canyons. So yeah, I teach firearms. I'm a firearm instructor. Yeah, I do a lot. One day I'll sit down.
I doubt it, but okay, we'll go with
know.
that. Ryan, what's up with you?
Well, you know, just like a lot of other people, you know, I'm a family man. I got 2 young children and you know, a wonderful wife. And so it keep me busy. But I'll just keep it brief. I recently, well, not recently, I reapplied or not reapplied. I applied with an agency out here in Los Angeles and finished the hiring process. So I'll get back into law enforcement, either as a reserve or full time, you know, we'll see. On the other side of things, I developed a men's skincare line, products line, based on sort of my experience as a police officer. It's called Code 3 Skincare, CODE, number 3 skincare, and .com. And so I've been running that and working that, and it's, you know, it's also been taking a good amount of my time. But yeah, so that's what I'm up to, pretty much.
And welcome back to California.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Gia, Miss Gia, tell the people what they need to know about Miss Gia.
Well, people probably already know a lot about Miss Gia. When I'm not doing my day job, I'm a civilian 24, you know, most of the time. I try to live a civilian life. I don't bring the job home. So a lot of people probably don't even know I'm a police officer when they come in contact with me, because I don't fit the mold, as they say. So they're shocked when they learn. So when I'm not working in law enforcement, I'm a creative. I'm busy creating jewelry, head wraps. I do T-shirts. I do a little bit of everything. I'm a free spirit, so I just like to create. So when I retire, I'll be creating all sorts of things full time.
You host a podcast.
Also, I almost forgot. I also host a podcast with Tonya and Miss Zeta called My Morning Coffee, and it's every other Monday morning at 10 o'clock. You can also catch me there, bringing in some laughter on the show.
Love it. Bo, did we do you already?
We did Bo, you know.
We did Bo.
We gotta do David.
David, yes.
David.
Yeah, they got some cool stuff going on. Go on, let the people know what's going on.
I told David.
So
I know, right?
Naturally, I work out. You know, I do a lot of work. I play a lot of ball, a lot of football. Play semi-pro with a team called Cleveland Predators. You know, I've been playing semi-pro for a long time.
We beat y'all.
Who did?
LAPD.
Oh no, you talking about the Cleveland? That's the Cleveland. I can't think of the police team, man. They've been trying to get me to play forever. I won't do it. I won't do it. They don't got enough dedication for me. They gonna wear me out, man. I ain't about to be doing everything on the field. But let's see what else. I'm a new father. My son is a year and 13 months. He's 13 months. Yeah. I'm actually planning to move to Miami, help raise him. Right now, I'm real simple though. I'm into fast cars. I love fast cars. You know what I mean? I got simple hobbies. Like, people think because I'm on TV and I'm worldwide known and all that I got to be extra. No, I'm just the same person I always been. But I got some other little things lined up with like ABC. I just did an interview with this little media company. They gonna publish it on YouTube. So I just been doing a lot of little things here and there to keep my mind vigilant at ease. But I've never been the type to take too many things like home with me or take too many things to heart because I understand the way life operates. I was raised, like I said, I was raised really well. So even if it was like poverty, you feel me, you still got principles and guidelines you can still be raised with. But other than that, I'm pretty simple. You can follow me on Instagram at that_Jamaican_Sigma. So if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram. Check me out.
And with that, Bo and David and Rob too, they put a lot of what they're feeling or doing. Sometimes they share a lot. So if you're trying to really understand what that day-to-day is like or if something happens, they usually post about it. And you have to appreciate that level of clarity and that level of transparency in how they're feeling or, what they're seeing in their policing life. So, man, I've had fun with our little family reunion here. It's been way too long. Hopefully one day we'll be able to do something in person. Jesus Christ. This is, I don't know.
We need to do this again. I think we still haven't touched on some topics that probably should be discussed.
There's some, well, good. We can have another family reunion. So I'll touch base with you guys about that. And then, until then, if there's any information too, anything that you guys are doing that, like with your fitness stuff or Dave, anything that you have coming up and you want to post about it, we'll have some Code 3 information on the Sand and Shores. We always have some mahogany box stuff going on. So, Bo, any of your comic hour behind the badge, we got any of the parties coming up, we'll make sure that all that information is posted on the page if you guys are interested, because it's some cool stuff. So again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. When you guys get off, check the comments because there's a lot of people that have some things to say. Many people have missed Miss Kendra's face. So glad she's here. And let's keep in touch and let's keep the conversation going. You guys have a good night.
Good night, guys.
All right.
Hey, you guys stay safe.
You too.
Oh, hey, man. Great career too, man. I applaud you for making it through, man. You about to retire, man. That's good shit, bro.
Man, real talk. I couldn't watch you drive some fast cars on my days.